The other three were found in Ngong Forest. All of them had sustained severe injuries as a result of beatings and are currently receiving treatment at Nairobi Women's Hospital. The victims said they were arrested and bundled into police vehicles before being driven around to approximately 9 police stations, after which they were handed over to individuals whose faces were covered. They say they were then forced into Subaru vehicles and taken to secluded locations where they continued to be held.
These 6 colleagues, who later we discovered were actually 7, were treated in an inhuman, degrading and cruel manner by none other than Kenya Police Service. The same individuals who have sworn to protect lives and take care of Kenya's safety were the ones who were torturing brutally our colleagues. After they were picked from the streets outside Parliament, they were put in a lorry and they were taken to Central Police Station.
We are also calling on our parents. Why are you quiet when they're taking your children? Why are you quiet when your children are being beaten by police in plainclothes and balaclavas? Is this the state that you want? Our dear parents, is this the state that you fought for? We still have one comrade missing by the name of Davis Lichuma. Davis was taken into a Subaru around the CBD area on Thursday around 3:30 p.m. and we have not heard from him since. We are asking the government to please release Davis Lichuma with immediate effect, and we will not stop and we will not back down until Davis is released. Yes. We are also demanding the immediate release of Bob Njage and any other of our comrades who have been taken in. Protest is a constitutional right.
It is now a state of inhuman, it's a state of human rights violations that we the people of Kenya can only be able to come together and support each other to see to it that we are able to protect our own rights.
And to matters education, to curb the rising cases of strikes in secondary schools across the country, education stakeholders are calling on the Ministry of Education to immediately and fully implement the recommendations of various task forces and commissions established to investigate the causes of learning disruptions, especially during the second term. The stakeholders, led by the Education Union, made the appeal after concluding a 2-day conference in Nyoro County. They emphasized that implementing these recommendations will help reduce student strike and improve the learning environment. They also proposed that student leaders be included in school boards of management so they can participate in decisions affecting their welfare. At the same time, parents were criticized for neglecting their parenting responsibilities and leaving teachers to shoulder the burden of raising their children.
Mwalimu akona kazi mingi ya kuhakikisha kwamba wanafunzi wamesoma, ile curriculum ameweza kukava na vitu zingine, lakini tumetwika majukumu yetu kama wazazi, walimu watufanyie kazi yetu. Wale huwa tunaita kwa kimombo present with apology parents.
Most of our learners and students are exposed to negative social media information. To this end, they are able to exercise some of the negative things that they observe, they interact with, and that they transfer from one learner to another.
As stakeholders sit together and think about long-term measures, there are immediate and urgent practical steps that can be taken to help enhance this. One is just ensuring that, for instance, we implement recommendations that were previously given with other commissions, task forces that were developed or put in place to address matters related to discipline and school.
Well, the government is facing fresh pressure after the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association called for a review of the amount of funding allocated per student, as well as the current fee structure to address financial shortages, the rising cost of living, and delays in the disbursement of government capitation funds. In resolutions made during their conference, the school heads also proposed that co-curricular activities be financed through a separate budget, saying these activities have been consuming funds meant for the day-to-day running of schools. They stated that setting aside dedicated funds for sports and other co-curricular activities will help reduce the financial burden schools face as inflation continues to affect the education sector.
The conference resolved to petition the government to urgently review the current student unit cost to reflect prevailing inflationary pressures and the actual cost of delivering quality education. B, co-curriculum activities should be funded as a separate budget line to reduce pressure on school operational funds. C, schools will continue adopting sustainable financial management practices while advocating for equitable education financing and reforms to enhance fairness in national assessments.
Well, President William Ruto has called on commercial banks and other financial institutions to work with the government to bridge the approximately 3 trillion financing gap facing micro, small and medium enterprises, saying Kenya's economic transformation depends on empowering millions of entrepreneurs to join the formal financial system. Speaking during the World SMEs Day celebrations at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, where he launched the 2026 SME policy, the president said government resources alone cannot meet the financial needs of small businesses. He urged lenders and financial institutions to expand access to affordable credits for entrepreneurs, stating that enhancing the SME sectors will promote jobs creation, innovation, and accelerate the country's economic growth.
We have built nearly 500 new markets around Kenya, many equipped with cold rooms and internet connectivity. And we have turned government programs into markets for MSMEs. Under the affordable housing program alone, we have ring-fenced 72 products for our Juakali artisans. A Kenya shillings 60 billion opportunity that has already created contracts for more than 33,000 of them. Just here, I met Ndindi, a man who has a small company and is participating in our housing program under this Jua Kali framework. I told him to come along. Huyo mungwana mnamuona hapo ni mtu wa Jua Kali, lakini yeye ndiye ametupatia hinges, ametupatia windows ya pale Mukuru, na wataendelea na wafanyabiashara wengine wote ambao wako Jua Kali. Vile nimesema, kandarasi yao tumewawekea katika hiyo program ya affordable housing ya shilingi bilioni 60 ya hawa watu wa Jua Kali. It has never happened before. This is the heavy lifting government has undertaken, but none of it will be enough until we break the one barrier that still stands on our MSME's back: access to affordable finance. Kenya's MSME financing gap stands at roughly 3 trillion Kenyan shillings. This challenge is not unique to Kenya.
Now, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has criticized the government following the Gen Z protest commemorations, claiming there were plans to cause death and destruction of property in the Mount Kenya region. Speaking to his supporters, Gachagua thanked residents of the region for heeding to his call to stay away from the streets, close their businesses, and organize young people to protect their property. He said these actions help prevent destruction and safeguard lives. Gachagua alleged that government leaders had planned to use violence and chaos to intimidate residents of the Mount Kenya region into supporting President William Ruto's administration. He also claimed that funds had been set aside to finance gangs along with alleged plans to kill thousands of people.
Mwenyezi Mungu akanielekeza ya kwamba kujikinga sio uoga. Lazima a good soldier must live to fight another day. Na kwa hivyo watu ya Mlima Kenya msione kama sisi ni waoga. Hakuna haja tungepeleka watoto kwa barabara wakauawe. Hakuna haja tungekubali tufungue maduka iporwe na mali yetu iishe. Katiba ya Kenya imetoa nafasi ya kumuondoa William Ruto mwaka ujao. Mimi nataka kuanzia tukiendelea mbele tujipange vile tutamuondoa katika uongozi wa Kenya. Tumepangiwa. Nataka nishukuru civil servants, waliniambia ile pesa ilitolewa milioni 200 ya kulipa wahuni ya kuja kuangaisha jamii ya Mlima Kenya. Na mimi nataka nitoe shukurani kwa watu ya Mlima Kenya ya kwamba wamekubali mimi nikiwaongoza, nikitoa mwelekeo watanifuata. Nataka niseme asante. Watu wengine walijaribu kuniingilia, Rigathi kwa nini hapa naenda kwa barabara, wewe ni muoga. Mimi si muoga, kila mtu najua. Lakini mimi ni kiongozi anajali watu yake. Siwezi peleka watu yangu kwa kifo. Mimi nitakuwa ni mjinga. Siwezi kubali mali ya watu yangu iharibiwe. Mimi nitakuwa ni mjinga.
Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has apologized to Kenyans following his failure to participate in the final vote on the finance bill, saying the matter disappointed many citizens. Speaking to the media, Nyoro said it was never his intention to evade his responsibility as a Member of Parliament and that he has received numerous views from Kenyans regarding the decision. The MP explained that he actively participated in all stages of the debate on the bill up to the second reading, where he voted in support of the motion to conduct a division vote. However, he said that only 27 members of Parliament opposed the government's position, a number that fell short of the required 30 MPs needed for a division vote to proceed.
Sahihi ya kwanza kutoa msamaha kwa Wakenya kwa disappointment ambayo nilisababisha wakati tulikuwa napiga kura ya finance bill pale bungeni last week. Ni vizuri niseme vizuri na gaubaga ya kwamba haikuwa nia yangu ya kukwepa wajibu wangu kama mbunge wa Kiharu na mbunge wa National Assembly. Na vile nimeeleza hapo awali, nimekuwa bungeni katika hizo jambo zote tulifanya za mswada wa fedha, na katika mchakato wote nimekuwa pale bungeni mpaka ile tunaita second reading. Na hapo second reading tukapiga kura na tukaitisha ile inaitwa mgawanyo ama division. Kwa bahati mbaya tukakuwa watu 27 wa bunge pale ambao walikuwa na maoni tofauti na yale ya serikali. Kuita mgawanyo inahitaji kura 30, na kwa hivyo tukapiga kura na ile inaitwa acclamation na ikaenda vile ilienda. Hiyo jioni nilikuwa nasafiri na nikasafiri na nilirudi actually the day before yesterday jioni. Na pia ilikuwa safari ilikuwa ya kiumuhimu, kwa sababu when I am convinced about something napenda kuifanya na roho moja. Na kwa hivyo mkiona nachukua muda, si kana kwamba kuna any other consideration or fear. Ni vile naona hii ni decision ambayo nafaa kuface wa Kenya nikiwa very very sober. Nimeiangalia kwa njia zote, nieleze wa Kenya njia zile zote nimeangalia. Tukiwa wa Kenya sasa tuamue. Mimi kama Dede Nyoro, wa Kenya wakiwa wadosi wangu, nikiwapea maoni yangu ile mimi najua nitatamatisha kuiweka vizuri kwa wiki 3 ama 4 zinazokuja. Najua hakutakuwa na taswishi hata tukiamua njia tunaenda.
And the United Democratic Alliance UDA has assured all those intending to contest various elective positions in the 2027 general election on the party's ticket that its nomination process will be fair, free and transparent. Speaking on behalf of the party's electoral commission, Mary Mtinga said the party has put in place measures to ensure that candidate nominations are conducted fairly and equally for all contestants. She added that that UDA is committed to conducting free and credible parties primaries to strengthen internal democracy and boost members' confidence in the nomination process.
I want to tell you, hakuna mtu anaweza ninunua nikupatie tiketi. Hakuna. You can never bribe the commissioners who are there. I being number one. And these elections, we are not doing them with ballot paper. Nobody will steal those votes. We are making very nice gadgets, very beautiful materials that you cannot steal.
Kwa hivyo sisi kama viongozi wa Wakamba ambao tutakuwa tunaomba viti kaunti ya Nairobi, tuko nyuma ya Rais William Samoei Ruto na tumekubaliana slogani yetu ni tu
Well, a cloud of grief has engulfed Kibachenje area in Bungoma County after a man died by drowning in River Kuywa following an incident in which witnesses claim he was being pursued by individuals alleged to be police officers. According to the family, the deceased was on his way home at night when he was reportedly followed by a vehicle believed to belong to the police. The deceased relatives are now demanding a thorough investigation to establish what led to the incident and to ensure that those responsible are held accountable if any wrongdoings if established. Witnesses at the scene claim they saw the deceased running towards the bank of the River Kuywa while being chased by armed individuals.
Bani kitu saa 2 ya usiku nikapikiwa simu. Nikaambiwa shemeji kodi ni alikuwa ana travel anakuja nyumbani, but kufika huko Chimoi akafuata na mapolisi. Alikuwa tu na hiyo gari na gari ilikuwa imepepa nepia krasi analeta nyumbani.
Mbaba tu mwingine amevaa t-shirt ya red na trouser ya blue ya jeans, akaanguka kwa maji, akasimama kando ya mawe. Sasa kusimama kando ya mawe, askari mwingine kuna tu sijui kama ni askari ama ni nani, akakuja anataka kumshika, kumvuruta. Alafu akasonga kando, akaanguka na mgongo kwa maji.
Sasa sisi yenye tunataka haki tendeke. Maana kama mtu unafukusa mtu kama mwizi, badala ushike umpeleke mtu polisi, asitakiwa mashtaka yake, wanafukusa paka anaanguka ndani ya maji. Na wakati mchana anaanguka kwa maji anasama, hao wamesimama tu wanaangalia. Wakati anasama wanachukua gari wanaenda nayo polisi. Hiyo mtu ya kuchukua hiyo gari waende nayo, mbona hawakufanya uchunguzi washughulike wamtoe ndani?
Watu mtafute na wakuje hapa watuletee hiyo gari yake ikuje hapa. Watuambie tuone kama ni hiyo ama haikuwa hiyo. Si hatujui walikuwa wanamwibia gari, hatujui walikuwa wamefuata nini. Mimi venye nilikuwa hapo hawakufungua gari nikaona ni nini ilikuwa ndani. Sasa hatujui huyu jamaa alikuwa anafuatwa sababu ya nini.
Agiza kiwa ni Kenya. Mimi naomba Murkomen please fuatilie wale jamaa walifuata huyu jamaa kwa sababu walikuwa na gari ya polisi. Kujua nani alikuwa dereva hilo gari ya polisi, kwa nini jamaa alikuwa anafuatwa, kwa nini baada ya kuingia kwa maji jamaa anachukua gari yake wanaenda station. Jamaa sasa hajapatikana, hakuna askari kwa site.
Moving on, the government has established a task force aimed at improving access to deceased person assets for thousands of Kenyans who have been long affected by delays in the succession process. Speaking during the launch of the task force on the establishment and reforms of the Public Trustee Department at the Sharia House in Nairobi, Attorney General Dorcas Oduor said the move will help resolve challenges that Kenyans have faced for many years due to delays in the administration and distribution of deceased person assets.
To the Kenyan people, the era of quiet administrative inheritance of injustice at the public trustee is ending. In its place, we are building an institution worthy of the trust placed in it by grieving families, by minors who cannot advocate for themselves, and by every Kenyan who has never written a will and hoped that, on a difficult day, the state would honor their wishes. It is my honor to declare the Task Force on the Incorporation and Institutional Transformation of the Public Trustee Department officially launched.
And doctors in Kericho County have resumed their strike after the county government failed to implement the return to work agreement that was signed on March 4th, 2025. Led by the chairperson of the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, Kisii Branch, Dr. Cherono Siele, the doctor said the county government had promised to implement the agreement by June 30th, 2025, but has failed to do so despite several meetings. The doctors stated that they have worked for 3 months without receiving salaries and without health insurance coverage, a situation that has affected their welfare and their ability to provide services to the public. They further said that the shortage of doctors in the county hospitals has increased their workload, adversely affecting their mental health and the quality of healthcare services.
I represent the doctors as the chairperson South Rift branch. So today we are here to address the media and just inform the residents of Kericho County that the county has decided to go on strike. So our main issues is the non-implementation of the return to work formula signed on the 4th March of 2025, and the county had promised to implement the return to work formula by 30th of June 2025. 1 year later, nothing has been implemented. As we are aware that Kericho County Referral Hospital is a level 5. According to the staffing norms, we need to have 50 medical officers serving in the county and a couple of consultants. But as we speak, we only have 7 medical officers vis-a-vis the 50, and we have said that enough is enough. The doctors are overworked. They have been facing mental health issues, and we have said that it is upon the county to end this strike.
The government has said that the construction of Nyoro Referral Hospital is progressing well and is expected to be completed by January 2027. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Defense, Patrick Mariru, said the project will upgrade the hospital to a level 6 facility and add 550 beds to improve access to specialized healthcare services.
As you can see, bado progress inaendelea. The second construction itaweza kuanza in maybe a few weeks time, ndio tuweze kuanza phase 2 of what the president had promised.
I decided to come personally and check the progress. We are happy about the progress, maybe average of between 20 to 30% of this project. We are satisfied with the way it is going. I would like to commit to the people of Meru and this region, because this hospital will basically serve the entire region. We also visited the Maua Stadium. We haven't started because the county government is consulting with the citizens because the land there is not enough for a 10,000-seater stadium. We didn't want to do a small community stadium. We wanted to do a 10,000 stadium like we are doing.
And Cabinet Secretary for Lands Alice Wahome has led the distribution of 750 title deeds to families in Komotai, Gatanga constituency, Murang'a County. Speaking during the event, Wahome said the exercise will restore hope to families that had waited for a long time to obtain legal ownership document for their land. She added that the title deeds will strengthen land tenure security and open up economic opportunities by enabling residents to invest in and develop their property. Through the exercise, the total number of title deeds issued in the area has surpassed 4,000 over the past 3 years.
Ofisi yangu imetayarisha title deeds 4,228. 4,228. Kiasi kidogo hapo haijakuwa tayari kabisa. Itanibidi officers wangu wakuje hapa na hema ndio wafanye wakague vizuri, kwa sababu nikimaliza hii kazi sitaki nisikie kunu kanasere. Ningetaka tukimaliza hii kazi kila mtu awe amefurahia kazi ya serikali. Title deeds ambaye ni clear ni 3,600. Kwa hivyo ninabakisha tu kidogo hapo kama 600.
Well, contractors from Mumias East have staged demonstrations accusing the area member of parliament of discriminating them in the awarding of development tenders through the national government constituency development funds. The contractors claim that since the MPs assumed office, local companies have not been given the opportunity to undertake development projects despite having the required capacity. They dismissed allegations that they lack the ability to handle major projects, saying they have successfully completed numerous projects both within and outside the country. They further alleged that many tenders have been awarded to contractors from outside the area, although through intermediaries. A situation they say has denied local residents employment opportunities and weakened the economy of Mumias East by preventing development funds from circulating within the constituency.
Mheshimiwa Salasia ameturuka, anasema sisi hatuna capacity. Tumejenga hii mashule yote tangu Mheshimiwa Osundwa awe kwa uongozi. Tumekuja tumeingia na washali mpaka wakati wa BK tumewekwa nje. Ndio tunashindwa, huko anatuaibisha ati contractors wa Mumias East hawana capacity.
Asema mheshimiwa apatilishe, asipopatilisha sisi tunapeleka nyumbani. Sisi tuko njaa, tunaumia na njaa. Hatutaki maneno ya ufisadi. Mheshimiwa anafanyia ufisadi upande wa CDF. Sio, tunashutumu kabisa na tumekataa. Sisi tumeshinda hata kusomesha watoto sababu yake. Yeye anauza contracts kwa Chaluo Kikuyu kwa vile hawezi sema kwamba amewahusia. Yeye akijua kwamba tupea tutasema ametuitisha pesa fulani.
Kundi hii yote tunajenga, lakini Mumias East anasema hatuwezi jenga. Tunasema yeye ni mkatili, anasema uongo, hatuna capacity, na tuko na capacity, tunasema hatarani. PK tanga ingie alitoa hiyo idara ya kutangaza contracts. Hakuna advert yoyote ambayo inawekwa katika Mumias East.
Tunafanya kazi hapa Mumias East. Sisi tumechoka, hata hardware yako nayo. Hata workshop yako nayo kwa boma. Kwa hivyo sisi tuko na demands. Mmesikia wenzangu wakiongea hapa. Demand number 1 ya kwanza, Mheshimiwa Salasia aombe msamaha. Aombe msamaha kwa contractors na mafundi wa Mumias East.
Mheshimiwa PK amechukua contract, amepeleka watu wa nje. Meaning ya kwamba hawa watu wa nje wakipata hizo pesa wanapeleka kwao.
And in sports news, Kenya's national baseball 5 team has made an impressive start to the East African Baseball 5 Championship, currently underway in Uganda after defeating the host nation. The team officials said the match was a friendly encounter between the two countries, noting that the pressure expressed during the opening set is as the game proceeded.
Well, we are family. Uganda and Kenya, we are friends, so whenever we are playing, we're like playing friend and family. So we always just want to showcase a very good game, and whoever wins takes it all. So it is a fair game, and it was a good game. Of course, first set was not played as we expected, and there was a lot of tension on players, but they regained and they did well in the second set.
It was entertaining and we've liked it. The boys and girls are in very good shape. The work they have done during the residential camp in Migori has borne fruits this afternoon, and we are happy. We are silencing Kampala and we are grateful for the work they are doing.
Well, it is exactly 28 minutes past the top of the hour, and that's where we wrap up EBN Weekend Edition. Many thanks for watching. I'm Leticia Afandi. Enjoy the rest of your viewing and have a fantastic night.